Good morning, everybody. My name is Chaitanya Kharel, and in today's, sessions that I'm particularly discussing about the speaking test. The speaking test, as everybody know, that the speaking test lasts for altogether 12 to 14 minutes of time. So within this time, the student has to face altogether part, and more precisely, I want to focus on the tips and tricks regarding these speaking modules in today's session, right? As we all know that the first sessions is all about 3 to 4 minutes of time. Within that time, the student get different types of questions. This is a sessions where the student also do a sort of warm-up session. That means warm-up session is a sessions where the student get a very simple and general questions. Like I just wanted to show you from this board out here, GR. GR means the general round session. This session lasts for altogether 3 to 4 minutes of time. Sometimes it also depends on the examiner. Sometimes it might be around 2 to 3 minutes as well. So look here, the questions, particularly the questions are, it's all about the name and address, like work and study, okay, describing location, city or town, country. But what I wanted to tell you today, that when you are supposed to ask your name, the particular questions you are asked your name, so you need to answer your name only out here. Do not try to answer long. Mostly I have seen that students used to say my full name is this and blah blah blah, and you can call me by this name and so on. Look here, when you paraphrase your answer, okay, in the very first part where the examiner asks you a question, simply your name related to your name, you simply have to answer your name only. Do not paraphrase it, because once you paraphrase and make the answer too long, it seems that you have learned by hearted the answer, and learned by hearted answer is strictly prohibited in the speaking test. So when you speak with the movements of your lips, the examiner can understand the way that you are speaking naturally, or you have learned by hearted the answer. So whatever the question asks, simply answer that. There are the questions where you need to answer, in an elaborated way, like a bit long answer is also needed, but the time comes, okay? So you see the questions asked about, the daily basis regarding name and address, work, okay? It could be also about the city that you live in. For example, you are asked the questions, the city that you live in. Talk about the city that you live in. You understand the questions, okay? Talk about the city that you live in. Or let's say, can you please tell me something about the city that you live in? Even in general pronunciation also, the questions sometime would be a bit, illustrative questions. Like on that part, you need to answer a bit longer. Suppose you live in Kathmandu city and you talk about the city that you live in, like you say, well, sir. So why do you use the term like well? Because you are generating the ideas. So when you are generating the ideas and you are just, calibrating your ideas in your mind, you are just, let's say, generating the ideas on that particular moment, you can use the word like well, okay, and you begin your answer. Like you could have answer like, well, sir, talking about Kathmandu city, it's a capital city of my country, Nepal, and there are a lot of facilities that I get inside the city, like the facilities of the international airports, domestic, blah blah, and hospital and so on. You can answer in this way, but when you answer, you can also use some transitional words, like you answer all the positive thing, but however you can also make some contrast with your statement, like though Kathmandu has a lot of facilities, however, people are really facing a lot of problems inside Kathmandu nowadays. So that means you make a contrast in your ideas, okay? So you see the questions are very basic and general. So that's what you do in the general round session. Mostly the questions would be around 7 to 10 questions you will be asked, and then you go to the topic card round session, cue card round session. And cue card round session, what happens in the cue card round session is like you get the topic. For instance, you get the topic related to the food. Let's say the food that you like to eat out, okay? For example, this is the question, the food that you like to eat out, and there would be some branches of the questions like what food it is, okay, why you like that food and how the taste differs. Now look here. So in the topic card round session, you get a topic, and on that topic you get 1 minute time to prepare the question. So within that time you prepare the question, and then after that you just go on answering the questions. Meanwhile, when you answer the questions, you can also begin your answer by, please do not make a background, because once you make a background it doesn't look good. What you are asked the questions, you directly jump to the topics. For example, you could have said like, well sir, talking about the food that I would like to eat, blah blah blah. In this way you can go here in the topic round session. And coming to the discussion round session, look here, particularly I would like to focus on the discussion round session today, because as you finish the topic round session for 2 minutes, you have the last round. In the discussion round session, almost all the questions would be related with the topic round session. So when you answer in the discussion round session, please do not answer what the sections of the communities people think. Talk about your own personal ideas. Talk about what you believe yourself. Either it could be positive or negative. Okay. So far you talked about the food, or let's say you talked about the movie. You were asked the questions related to the movie, for example. So the most probable questions in the discussion round session would be related to movie. Like, what sort of age group people would like to watch movie at the theater hall? That would be the questions, for instance. And why people would like to watch movie at the theater hall? So when the question comes in the discussion round session, it's all about the intellectual questions. So you need to give your personal opinion. You can begin your answer by, well sir, I believe that, as far as I know, in my opinion. Don't say what other people think. Tell what you think about yourself, okay? Talk what you feel about yourself. So you could have said, well sir, I believe that mostly the teenagers would like to watch movie at the theater hall because they really get the new taste and environment. And apart from that, the oldest group people would like to watch movie at their own home because they really found the environment convenient and comfortable, right? So when you answer the questions, talk about your personal opinion. Give your own notion, give your own ideas, what you believe. Even the answer should not be like, it should be correct to all the people, okay? It should only, the answer should justify you and the examiner. So this is what you do in the discussion round session. So here are some of the phrases that you can begin in the discussion round, like, as far as I know, I believe that, from my perspective, in my opinion. Even you can answer in negative way. For example, you talked about Kathmandu city in topic round session, and the examiner asks you the questions related to the future of Kathmandu here in the discussion round session. The answer would be positive also, negative also, but whatever you say, you have to beat the examiner with your own intelligence. Like when you say, well sir, the future of, the question asks, what do you see about the future of Kathmandu, for instance? You could have said, obviously very much good, because it has got a good, environment. The temperature is also very good, and the place is really suitable for almost all the people, and a lot of facilities are available out here. So I believe that the future of Kathmandu will, of course, be very much good in the days to come. So you could have answered it in positive way, but rather you don't like to answer it in positive way. We could also answer it in negative way. It's not like you have to answer all the answer in a positive way only. What do you believe? Like, you don't see the future of Kathmandu is good, right? So you could have said like, well sir, I believe that the future of Kathmandu would not be that much good in the days to come, because you see that the traffic is unlimitedly horrible, especially in the peak hour. You see like a lot of noise pollution. Even you see that crowd everywhere. You don't reach the given destination in a given time. So there are a lot of hurdles you face in your real life. What you face exactly, standing in the real ground, you could have answered in this way. So I mean to say that the discussion round session is not all about the opinion, the general opinion. It's all about your personal ideas, your opinion, your notion. That's why when you answer the questions, you need to be pretty clear enough. You need to be convinced with your answer. That's what you do in the discussion round. So all in all, what I wanted to tell you is that, like, Speaking test, so far speaking test lasts for 12 to 14 minutes of time. If you are not that much good in grammar, students, so do not focus on grammar, because the small and minor grammatical mistakes will be considered. You don't have to worry for that. In order to get 8 or 8.5, in order to get the high band score, you need to have a good lexical resources. Okay, that means a good vocabulary power. You need to have a good grammar. You need to make the compound complex structure, and also you can use some phrases, and the fluency is also equally important. So but besides that, in order to get 6 or 6.5, the general and common grammatical mistakes would be considered. So once you speak what you really wanted to say, what you really wanted to deliver, you just go on, okay? Speak spontaneously, make your fluency good, and just answer the questions what you understood. But do not answer, do not go beyond the question. Always understand the question and answer, and do not answer in a single word, because single word and one word answer is strictly prohibited in this speaking test. That's why let's not make the examiner ask the questions with why. Okay, for instance, you are asked a question like do you really love to listen music? The questions are pretty much simple. So you could have said, of course, I love to listen music. I listen different genre of music, and I really love this genre very much. So this would be the complete answer. So don't simply say like, of course, I listen music. If you do that, the examiner will again ask you the questions. So try to, answer in a complete way. So that's what you do in this speaking test. Thank you very much. If you need more tips and tricks, you can visit with us. Thank you.